It's cold out here and I feel lonely. I know the time can move so slowly. And in the distance I hear voices. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And now I feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. And now I feel alive. So many times they try to change me, and every time it drives me crazy. And all the good times we had saved me. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And now I feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. And now I feel alive. It's cold out here and I feel lonely. I know the time can move so slowly. And in the distance I hear voices. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick. And now I feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. Feel alive. And now I feel alive.
All right, good evening, folks. I do apologize for the late start. We've been seeming to have a lot of technical difficulties here over the past couple of days, but hopefully it's fixed now, and yeah, we can guys, qualifying is live, and yeah, we can get back to our regular way of putting on a show here for you guys. Do let me know if you're hearing me quite well there in the YouTube chat. And I do apologize for that. The streaming software just would not want to connect to the scheduled live stream link. Yeah, it's a lot of technical things that we have to do here in the background before we actually get the picture to you. And yeah, I do want to apologize for that. All right, qualifying is a goal. No time to waste here. We've got Raw Pertab, I believe, leading them on. So yeah, we're gonna follow him around now as we are at round number 6 for the Caribbean Porsche Cup. And we are at Hockenheimring. That is Hockenheimring. And yeah, you know, don't want it to throw me off, but we are having a bit of fun here in the championship. And I do want to bring you up to speed right now with what is going on in the points. Currently, Dominic Charles is leading. Not so dominantly though, with 104 points. Jaden Harrison currently in second position. By the way, Dominic Charles is from Trinidad and Tobago. Jaden Harrison from Jamaica. Jaden Harrison with 93 points there in second position. Third is Raw Pratap, a little ways away from Jaden Harrison with 72 points. The Guyanese there. Another Guyanese in fourth position with 50 points is Matthias Parker. And to close off our top five there, Raymond Siberan with 40 points. Unfortunately not present here this evening. Currently in fifth position. And then of course we have our other drivers there that are currently on that points chart. If you want to stay up to date with what's going on there in the points, do check us out on our social media. That is CaribbeanSimRacing.org or _org, O-R-G, on YouTube. Sorry, that's Instagram or Facebook. Currently Raw Pratap, they're just losing that fastest sector 1 time to probably someone, well, not probably, to someone behind him as he makes his way around the hairpin there, and we'll be able to get a lap on the board in a bit. Newcomer tonight, coming off of the Guyana leg of the 2026 South American Games qualifiers, is Jalen Masduki. Usually we don't let anyone join the championship right on, during a championship rather, unless of course that person has a good enough set of talent or skill set to race amongst these guys. And you know, we've seen Jalen's performance there last Wednesday, and decided to give him a shot here at this championship to race among some of the best guys in the Caribbean. And you know, we're going to be looking out for Jalen Masduki there for that one. It's 1:48.852 there from Raw Pratap, but unfortunately it's not clocked because it's probably a time off the board. But Xavier Pratt goes fastest there. Safir Roshandin now goes fastest with a 1:43.251. Giovanni Melville, by the way, to 1:44.414. And Jaden Harrison now dethrones Safir Roshandin there for the top spot with a 1:42.849. Dominic Charles not yet on a fast lap. Jalen Masduki rather is going to be putting down his fast time as he comes around Sudkove and comes across the line here now. Goes with a 1:44.549. Jaden Harrison, is he going even faster? No, it's yellow sector there for his first sector. Now Dominic Charles begins his flying lap. Let's take a ride with him around the Hockenheimring. Wasn't quite a clean lap there from Dominic Charles, but he goes second fastest. By the way, Rob Pertab has now dethroned Jaden Harrison with a 142.808 there. He's not going faster on this lap just yet through sector 1. Who is, though, is Jaden Harrison now with a green sector there through sectors 1 as he comes out of that cloud cover there. He's going to be looking with just 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in qualifying here to get back on the front row. Jaden Harrison goes fastest there through the second sector now. Does Jaden Harrison? Oh, but he's lost that middle sector fastest time. Who has it? It's none of the top 3. Is it Matthias Parker? Yes, it is. Matthias Parker takes the fastest takes the second sector there with the fastest time. Jaden Harrison comes across the line now. What is it going to be? It's a 42.358. Takes back that top step. Matthias Parker, though, with the fastest second sector comes across the line now. Whoa! What has happened there? Oh, he went second fastest there as the sponsor card came on board there. At the time, I thought he was going to dethrone Jaden Harrison there for that one. Where is Dominic Chaz? He got a little bit of traffic there ahead of him in Jalen Mastuki. Jalen, of course, just trying to feel himself out here with these cars as well. He's had far less time to practice. He does step aside to let Dominic Charles go by. Dominic goes even faster now with the second two, even with being held up there in the final set of corners for the last sector. He went fastest there with a 142.336 now. And he's going to actually take some time off there. It's really close between himself and Jaden Harrison. Jaden, nothing given here for the first sector time. And Jaden actually going slower here now with less time left on the board. 1 minute almost flat here left in qualifying. He's setting himself up for one final lap flyer. I want to take a ride on board with him as he does that. Here he goes now. Oh, look at that. Car control at its best there. Goes through turn number 1. It's just a kink, but it's a terrible kink. Into the hairpin now for this final and fast one. Oh no, it's totally messed up there from Jaden Harrison, and he's gonna have to sit on the second position of the front rows. Dominic Charles is on for closing out the qualifying here in the first position. That is known as pole position, by the way. But look, Roper Tab is seeing a green sector 1 here. Can he do it? Oh, he's a tenth, about a tenth and a half off there of the fastest time that he's done through sector 2. But he does have sector 3 here to try and make it up here. Wide right, wide entry there for him to try and capitalize on a quicker exit. You know the saying, slow in, fast out. Roper Tab now into the second set, final set of corners there. Comes across the line now. Wants a 142.703, but nothing to get him out of that fourth position. What about Safir Roshanin? Can he do better than the 3.251 that he has currently on the board? Safir Roshanin with a 42.830, not that far away from fourth position. Xavier Pratt across the line, nothing given there for him. Giovanni Melville has already put in that final lap, and Zayad, unfortunately, making it here to the qualifying, but unfortunately not in enough time to get a qualifying done here for himself. Meanwhile, Dominic Charles sit on the front row right now with pole position, ready for this race start. Do remember, it's a mandatory pit stop this race. So after the first 15 minutes, the pit window will go open, and then they'll be able to have that strategy work for them, whatever it is that they might choose. Now, we wait here on the time to run out. As we can see, Zayad Razak there rejoining the server at this time. He unfortunately has missed qualifying, but nonetheless, he is here and will make an attempt here in the race. Get the drone in a good position here for the start. Alright, if it's the first time you're joining us here for the Caribbean Porsche Cup, do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Subscription can be done with a notification bell. You'll see the bell when you hit the notification button to get notifications. You can go ahead and hit that whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. You'll be informed of it. So yeah, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. You can see 10 of you there, 12 actually watching along. So all 12 of you would do nice to hit that like button for us. Gets the YouTube algorithm going and gets others who might be interested in this. So come along and watch with us. Do want to remind you that this series is brought to you by Darthan Investments, Subby's Sandwiches and Cafe, and also Lap Ally. Lap Ally is a little dashboard creator. Not a little, but I should say is a dashboard creator that we recently came across or met actually within our community, and he's currently in development, developing a dashboard that is going to be used by our competitors. It's really nice for us to have that little support mechanism going on with dashboards, because dashboards carry a lot of information. I'll just put it on the screen right now, one of them that we currently use, which is from CMRT. But you can see here vital information like, of course, the leaderboard, your the timing, as well as your steering wheel, your pedal options, and of course other very important information that would be needed when you're in a race. Hopefully sooner or later we can get something like this here for broadcasting, which is really nice as well when the time comes. But here we have 9 drivers now on the start line. By the way, you can find Lap Ally on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com and search Lap Ally, ALLY, and you'll be able to find that creator there, and you'll be able to go ahead and support or purchase the Lap Ally dashboard that is available. I think it's just $9 US for it, so pretty cheap and sweet. And you know, it's developing all the time. There's a great support behind it, and you know, for Assetto Corsa specifically, it's going to work out real nice for you. All right, 50 seconds before the lights go out here at the Hockenheimring for our 6th round of the Caribbean Porsche Cup. Once again, thank you for joining us this evening. Happy to have you back with us if you're rejoining us from, from since when the championship has started, and thanks a lot for staying on with us. Seems to have lost someone there. What is it? Oh, I think it's Saphir Roshandin. Back now. It's qualified 5th there on the grid. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 10 seconds to lights out. And they're off. Looks like Jaden Harrison has a good start. Everyone else too. And as they come down into the first corner, it is Dominic Charles with the whole shot. Jaden Harrison, Raw Pratap, having to stay away there from Matthias Parker. But now he's on the inside line there. Look at this. Matthias with a terrible start. Now Saphir Roshandin on the inside with a massive pass there. 2 down into third position. Goes Saphir Roshandin. Now Matthias Parker and Robert Tabber dicing it on Zayad Razak already up here into 6th position. What a start he's had to this race. No qualifying session done here, but of course he would have had practice. Now he's looking on the inside of Raw Pratap for that 4th position. Can he stick it? It's a hairpin. It's going to be an up and under. Raw Pratap gets back on the power. They're neck and neck now as they go down the back end of this racetrack. Gets back to position, Raw Pratap. Zayad Razak now has Matthias Parker to work with. Xavier Pratt. Oh! Gonna miss a huge opportunity, no action opportunity, but he missed his breaking point there. Now Giovanni Melville goes up into 8th position. He's already having Matthias Parker having a lot of issues here actually. He's fallen all the way back into 7th position now. And Saphir Roshandin is actually catching up to Jaden Harrison. Looking back though, Jalen Mesduki as well up into that 6th position. Zayad Razak losing some footing now to Raw Pratap as well. Giovanni Melville coming into the rear end of Jalen Mazduki there. Unfortunately, Mazduki having issues there with Matthias Park. He gets going again there, Jalen. But of course, we want to know what kind of damage he's probably going to have there as Matthias now sees Zayad Razak, who's falling off some or had some sort of issue here. He gets into the side door of Zayad, holds his line. Oh no! Huge incident there with Xavier Pratt and no, it's Jalen Mazduki rather, and Matthias Parker. Jalen, nothing doing. He came out of that corner so quickly, he could not get himself straight there. But already, Saphir Roshandin, actually, Dominic Charles already ahead here by a 1.5 seconds. Jaden Harrison seemingly struggling with this car right now. Saphir Roshandin catching up to him. Saphir coming off of a 3rd position finish in the last race there. And it seems as though he is on a high, and he's continued it on here for some 6 days, 6.5 days. Or you could say it's 7 days actually. But yeah, that's the race start for you. Unfortunately, Matthias Parker with huge amount of issues here and a battered up Porsche. Jalen Mazduki was doing well there to get up into 6th position, but then had that little issue there with Matthias Parker as well as Xavier Pratt. Xavier up into 7th. Giovanni Melville holding on to 6th position, and he's seemingly catching Zayad Razak now. Dominic Charles with the fastest lap there with a 142.662. Jaden Harrison, nothing to answer him with. Saphir Roshandin falling off just a bit of the pace there against Jaden Harrison now. Raw Pratap in 4th position is chasing down his known 3rd position. And looking back, Giovanni Melville is having a little scrap here now with Zayad Razak. Unfortunately, he has run a little deep there into that corner, and he's lost some time now to the Guyanese. Saphir Roshandin, bobbing and weaving here between this 2nd position He's got to be careful not to lose time and not to overdrive these tires here as he gets on with this race. Young Roshendin is just 14 years old, ladies and gentlemen, or rather 13 years old. I was thinking Rashad Razak, who is 14. The two of them known to have their scraps around here, but unfortunately we've not seen Rashad in a minute, actually, I should say. Dominic Charles right now, seemingly very dominant here at the Hockenheimring. Goes fastest now, but Jaden Harrison has taken that away from him with a 142.555. So he's putting on the pressure now, Jaden Harrison, to try and open that gap from Safir Roshendin, who was getting a little too close for comfort maybe, and probably now he's going to try and get this car into the pace that he's known to be having with it. Probably the tires were not cooperating with him. Meanwhile, Giovanni Melville catching up back here to Zayad Razak. I know the St. Lucians might be on the edge of their seats now as he's fighting for these points here against Zayad Razak, by the way. He's currently in 11th position. He's tied with DeVille Park, who unfortunately is not here tonight. So he's going to get into the top 10 once he finishes this. Oh, what was that? I think that was a lightning strike there. Oh, he does not want to get in the grass there. It does look like AstroTurf, but it's grass. Could slow him down here, Giovanni Melville, as he's giving us the closest fight in this race so far. Well, not so far, but right now. Catching up to them in this one is Xavier Pratt. You can see him and you can hear him now in the background there. So Xavier, as Dominic Charles and Jaden Harrison shares the fastest lap there, but it's Jaden with a 142.312 there. He's trying to catch up to Dominic Charles, but of course Dominic is trying to keep the distance between him to avoid getting into a fight here. But if they do, Safir Roshendin will have to take that spot there, as we saw him do last weekend when Zayad Razak and Robert Tab were having a big fight. They crashed each other out, and Safir was right there waiting with arms wide open. Here he is catching up to them still. Safir Roshendin. Robert Tab, though, not that far away now from the Guyanese, his Guyanese counterpart. Giovanni Melville still under a second here to Zayad Razak. He's going to have a really good exit now, Giovanni Melville. Let's take a ride on board with him. Oh, and Zayad Razak with a huge mistake there as he runs really, really deep, and now Giovanni Melville is going to have a look on the outside, but he cannot get it done. Now Xavier is going to have a look on the inside of that one, as Giovanni Melville made a mistake there, and huge incident there. Zayad getting off track and getting back on in a very unsafe manner, rather. But it has put Xavier on the back foot now. He's lost 2 positions in that. You could say he's lost 3 as he was getting across Giovanni Melville in that one. But Zayad struggling here right now. He's finally lost that position, I would say, for Giovanni Melville. And Giovanni now up into 5th position. Great points here if he can hold on and get it completed under these circumstances. Xavier, though, not happy with that one. You heard him over the communications there. A perplexed okay. came from the Guyanese there. Zayat, of course, trying to get back on track. It's very difficult to get back on track from the gravel here. You can see a lot of clouds around here. Right now, we've heard the lightning just now. Someone said it was a bomb. We need to ban the racer who did the bomb. It's no bomb. Jaden Harrison cannot get it under a second and a half to Dominic Charles at this moment, but he has, and the duo actually has opened up a gap now to Safir Roshandin, who's 4.5 seconds away from that top spot. Raw Pratap is still sticking around that 3.5 second mark, and the top four has got just about 12 seconds actually to the leader. Here is Shivani Melvin. Zayat coming back though at him. You can see Zayat there in the background now. Down a second and 2. Dominic Charles now with one of the fastest times of this race once more, 1:41.943 from the Trinidadian. Jaden Harrison cannot respond though. He's probably losing the tires under him. Now you can see Zayat still having to overcompensate for turning in too much there, Zayat Razak. So he's still fighting this car right now. And as you can see, he's lost that 1.2 second gap that he had to Giovanni Melville. It's now almost 2 seconds. Jalen Masduki goes into pit lane there. Let's see what his pit time will be. Oh no, he's called it quits actually. Just does not have enough time under this car to get something substantial for him to work with. But who is Jaden Harrison? He's still around that 2.5 mark. Maybe Dominic Charles is trying to keep him at that 2.5 mark. Zayat Raza catching up now to Giovanni Melville. On the inside, he's having a look. Oh, Giovanni Melville is a little bit too, I would say a little bit too generous there with that one. But maybe Giovanni Melville is nursing an issue now. But he just basically stepped aside there and gave Zayat Razak that opportunity. Giovanni is sticking with him though as they head into this corner here. Matthias Park and Xavier Pratt quite a ways away from this one right now. Jaden Harrison still 1.5 seconds here. The drift of Dominic Charles. And Raw Pratap just cannot close that gap. If you see the screen going dark, that's actually cloud cover at that part of the track. And believe it or not, the simulation, the sim actually simulates the cooling of the tarmac when that occurs. So for instance, if you see someone losing a little bit of traction there at that particular part of the track, then you know why. Dominic Charles goes faster now with that one. It's almost 2 seconds that separates him. It's a 1:41 there, as we've lost someone else here in this race. Oh, it's Jaden Harrison. We've lost Jaden Harrison in this one. So Safir Roshanen goes up into second position. Raw Pratap has third, as we've come to know him being. And now Zayad Razak goes into fourth position. Giovanni Melville with even more points to his name if he can manage to take that position away. But I'm kind of figure out what's going on here with Giovanni Melville. He might not be comfortable trying to lead here. So he has given Zayad Razak this opportunity, and he's probably going to catch him in the pit stops. Let's take a look and see how this plan works out for Giovanni Melville now. This is the closest race we have for you. Let's ride on board with the St. Lucian. On the outside, he's going to have to try and up and under here, but Zayad Razak has just a little bit more pace for him. Zayad struggling now and seemingly holding up Giovanni Melville at certain parts of this track. Giovanni needs to be a little bit more patient here in the way he takes this fight to Zayad Razak now. It seems as though Zayad has to learn this car. The way in which he's driving it right now, it seems as though that's what he needs to do, is try and learn this car. You can see him just breaking away from the apex, which is quite weird, by the way. Lost more time here, Giovanni Melville. And I'm pretty sure the tires are now going off on these Porsches. We are in the window, the pit window here. And we've not seen anyone go yet for a pit stop. Current leader right now is Dominic Charles, and he's got a commanding lead over Saphir Rochendin. We've lost Jaden Harrison in this one for to some technical difficulties, I would assume, unless of course he's crashed out, and of course crashed out at the fact of crashing out. So unfortunate circumstance there for the Jamaican, but he's going to lose even more points now to Dominic Charles in this championship. Dominic having a comfortable lead now to this race. Zafir Rochendin almost 10 seconds adrift now, but up into second position. The youngster on for his second podium finish now, with just about 25 minutes left in this race, and of course a mandatory pit stop to come. But he's looking quite comfortable here, Zafir Rochendin. He's figured out maybe that he can cut that corner and get away with it. Of course, not penalty-wise, but with unstabling the car, can definitely be able to get away with it now. If you do look at some of the lanes that these drivers take, it's almost as if they're cutting the track. But I'll tell you what, in sim racing, sometimes... Oh, did I hear Robert Tat go off track there? No, but he still does seem to have a bit of damage here. But if you take a look at the way these drivers drive on this track, they sometimes look like they're cutting the track. But I'll tell you what, in most cases, you have to take advantage of where you can and cannot cut. We do have an application called the Rail Penalty which applies penalties to all tracks that we go to. And so even if the game, being as old as it is, does not calculate a penalty for a certain corner and it's cut, real penalty steps in and says, well, hey, you can't do that there. But of course, once real penalty says it's okay, anywhere else on the track, it is okay. And you can see them taking advantage of this as they go around here at the Hockenheimring. Just about 9 seconds adrift is Safir Roshanen from Dominic Charles, but opening the gap he is to Raw Pratap, who's in third position here. Very well known third position for Raw Pratap, at currently 6.5 seconds away from second position. And he's, by the way, got a 20.2 second lead here to Zayat Razak, almost an entire pit stop, I should assume, to his fellow Guyanese. By the way, continue to open the gap here to Giovanni Melville. As a matter of fact, Matthias Parker is now catching up to them. Matthias is just about 1.5 seconds away. Let's take a ride on board with Parker. Matthias actually has damage. You can see him on the steering wheel there, having to lead that car to the left in most cases. Look at that. So he's got suspension damage that he's got to deal with there in the pit stop. But with suspension damage, he's also catching up to Melville. Begs the question whether Melville has damage as well. We know for sure Zayat's been through a lot. He's definitely has some kind of damage on with that car. Xavier Pratt as well with damage too. We saw him get properly rear-ended, I should say, from Jalen Mastuki. Jalen just could not avoid him coming out of the first corner. They're all catching up back to Zayat Razak at this point in time. Getting that stop just in time there. Matthias Parker. Amazing that he's still holding on to this fight here with the duo up ahead. Oh, Giovanni Melville with a huge mistake there, and now Matthias Parker is going to take that fifth position away from him, but can he fight back here? Giovanni Melville still struggling here on the rear ends. They seem to be overheating now. We're right on board with him. Let's check out and see if he's got any damage here from the steering wheel indicator. He too has to correct the car there. You can see it pulling to the right-hand side. So they've all basically got damage they're working through, but none of them are giving up just yet. Raw Pratap, though, goes into pit lane now. He actually gets out of pit lane. It's a 36.62 second stop now. He does the first jump against Safir Roshan then. Can the undercut work here for him? Safir is going to be watching that. He's definitely going to be interested to know if Raw Pratap is pitted or not. Of course he is going to be interested, and he's going to want to do something about it quite soon, or else he could be on the back foot here as well. Let's take a ride on board with Zayat. I'm quite interested to know if he has damage here that he's nursing. He's definitely not gotten some of these corners down. Just under 21 minutes left to go. You can see Matthias Parker there in the rear view mirror of Zayad Razak. Oh no, now Giovanni Melville has been given a drive-through penalty for cutting on this racetrack, just as we were speaking about cutting certain corners around this track here. He's gone and gotten himself a penalty. They do have 4 chances, I should say. Yeah, we can see Zayad Razak there having to nurse this car as well. Dominic Safir Roshandin. Am I seeing correctly? Has Dominic Charles taken that pit stop now? He's actually behind Safir Roshandin. I think he has taken that pit stop, yes. Matthias Parker goes into pit lane now. Matthias Parker comes back out in 7th position now. Safir Roshanen leads this race right now, and he's got a mandatory pit stop to do. We saw that it's about 30 seconds there, 32 seconds there from Giovanni Melville. And now Zayad Razak has been given a drive-through for cutting as well. Safir Roshanen, though, into pit lane. We're looking at Raw Pratap here because he's the one he's battling against. Can Safir be able to get in and get out as quick as possible and hold on to this 2nd position against Raw Pratap? It's a mandatory pit stop for tire change. Dominic Charles will come back now for the lead of this race, so he has taken his pit stop there. Safir Roshanen has not. Oh, he's finally gotten going now. Where's Raw Pratap? He's actually making his way around the penultimate turn, so he's not going to be able to reclaim this position here from Safir Roshanen. Safir has done it well to hold on to this 2nd position. Xavier Pratt now goes up into 3rd position rather, as Zayad Razak and Giovanni Melville has pitted now. Raw Pratap has pitted already, but unfortunately the undercut just did not work for him. He's still under, Xavier Pratt will have to pit rather quite soon, and so Raw Pratap will reclaim that 3rd position here, but he's not been able to perform the undercut against Safir Roshanen. Safir on for a 2nd podium finish in a row here as he holds on to this 2nd position. Xavier might be heading into the pits now. Oh, you can see those tires they do not want any more of this. It's torture around the Hockenheimring right now for them, and they just want to get off of this car, and he does. Ooh, he's gonna rub the wall there too for good measure. Xavier gets it under 80 kilometers per hour now. And he's going to want to fix the damage that he has on that car, the suspension damage that he has. Matthias Parker goes on to retake that position from him. But can he do well to stay ahead of Zayad and Giovanni Melville? Remember, Xavier was all the way in 7th position here. Here comes Matthias. Takes that 4th position back. Where's Zayad Razak now on it? It's actually going to be pit for Zayad. Now remember, him and Giovanni Melville had to do a drive-through penalty each So now they're going to be able to hold on to take their pit stops here. Actually, now serving his drive-through penalty, Sayad Razak. So he's going to actually lose that position to Xavier. And now Giovanni Melville will also lose that position to Xavier too, because Giovanni Melville, I do believe, still has to pit. So Xavier has done really well here. Well, he's gotten the luck for him, that is. As the pit window has 30 seconds to close. He's going to see some points here, and that's why you stick with it. That's why you stick with the race. You never know what could happen here. And it goes in your favor. So he was all the way in the 7th position, technically last. And now he's up into 5th, and he's going to make $1.50 there in the points category. Dominic Charles, though, 13.5 seconds ahead. This guy, unbelievable. Jaden Harrison didn't have an answer for him in the qualifying session, and he didn't have an answer for him in the race. As a matter of fact, we think we lost Jaden to a huge incident that unfortunately we did not see. So he's off the server now. Dominic Charles running away with this one, and unfortunately running away with the championship here against Jaden Harrison. Huge points, 25 more to the total of 104. While I believe it was 93 points that Jaden Harrison has. Yes, that's 93 points. Dominic Charles with 104. Unfortunate circumstance there for Jaden Harrison. Next weekend, though, we do go racing at Norrisring. If you've never heard of it before, I do beg you do a Google search on that track. As a matter of fact, do DTM Norrisring, that is Norrisring, and go see where we're going to race at next weekend. Very, very weird track, by the way. First time I came across that track was on another simulation called the Race Room, and man, I was baffled at the fact that those kind of cars went racing there back in the day. It was so amazing to me. But yeah, go ahead and look it up, DTM Norrisring, and you won't be disappointed. Dominic Charles is your race leader. 23.6 seconds till... Oh no, what has happened here? Safir Roshandin has lost that second position now to Raw Pratap. When did that happen? And I'm not sure how did young Safir lose it when he had such an immense position against Raw Pratap. Now he's got to fight back for the second position now. He's lost an immense amount of time, and he's losing even more pace here now to his countryman. Oh, he's getting a little bit nervous here. Is Safir Roshandin. He needs to calm down. He needs to focus on this race the way he was before. What has happened here? Car doesn't seem to want to cooperate with him in this second stint. Can he get it back? Can he cool those tires off? It's already almost 2 seconds now with Drifter Raw Pratap. Now Raw going wide there, and he's going to lose some time now to young Safir. gotta be careful. I think he's over driving that car now, Safir Roshan did. He's made a mistake. He's definitely nervous about the fact of making the mistake. He's lost all his cool at this point. And as a young driver, this is what happens. This is the reality of things too. In real life, this does occur. Which better way to learn how to compensate and get back in the mindset than a simulation like this? This is why we do this. This is why the FIA, which is the governing body for motor racing around the world, has decided to take simulation racing seriously and has been putting on a lot of competitions around the globe here. Is to get these young kids alongside go-karting in the right mindset for when they go racing, as a matter of fact, to capture them probably even sooner than their go-karting careers. For when they go racing like this, they're already a well-built and oiled machine. This is why Max Verstappen, drivers like Max Verstappen, are on top of their game when they need to be, or when they're given the opportunity. And I mean, not right now in F1, we can see that Red Bull is having a lot of issues there with that car. And congratulations to the Lewis Hamilton fans today. What a comeback for him. Finally winning with Ferrari. And I guess you could say they're finally listening to Hamilton now, by the way. As you know, he went there with the pedigree of Mercedes. Now that they're in that formula, that winning formula that Mercedes was known for, he's definitely going to tell them some things there at Ferrari that they'd want to be listening to. And maybe they finally listened to him. Even today on the radio, his engineer was having a really good chat about it. And the way in which he related certain information, you can tell that that team today was a changed team. So congratulations to you guys, Ferrari, and of course the LH fans, the LH44 fans. Congratulations to you. Look at that big slide there. He's had to correct Safir Roshan. And as we get back to the Caribbean Porsche Cup now, he's just about a second and a half behind Raw Pratap. And Raw seems a lot more in control of that car ahead of him. Safir Roshan trying to fix the mistake that he made, but sometimes some things are just not fixable. And he's probably overdriving this car, and he's just got to get his head down and back in the gate. Just to remind you that this event is brought to you by Darthan Investments, Subby Sandwiches and Cafe, Lap Ally, and Reboot Labs. Reboot Labs there is our in-house coder, and the results are actually done with a specified application. So if you're not too aware, the server produces the results in a format that is not quite readable. So what Reboot Labs did was create an application that works HTML side, and we're able to log into that website and get those results nicely formatted in a beautiful GUI, and used basically for our postings of results there on our social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. You can go ahead and check us out there for the results and current points as it stands here in the Caribbean Porsche Cup. This is the closest fight we've got for you right now. Safir Roshan trying to claw back some time to Raw Pratap to get back in this second position now. Dominic Charles, though, has clocked out of this one. Dominic Charles with 28 seconds ahead of these two guys. And Raw Pratap and Safir Roshan has managed to clock out from Matthias Parker, who's currently in 4th position. Xavier trying to close that gap there, but just about 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes left here. His time is running out there to claim some more points to Mates. Zayad has managed to open that gap against Giovanni Melville now. And everyone is basically comfortable in the way they are around this track. This is quite a bumpy track, by the way, so if you see the steering wheel moving more than it should, those are the bumps there coming through the steering wheel of these guys. The steering wheel carries something called force feedback. What the force feedback does is try to mimic not only the tarmac, but also the mechanics of the car as you would in real life. For instance, when you lose the rear end, you can feel the left side of the steering wheel going loose if it's the left side that you're losing the rear end on. And so you're able to move that steering wheel to the left and try to capture that slide as it would try to mimic what a car would do in real life. And so these simulation equipment are getting better and better, by the way, to produce those mechanics and physics through the equipment that they have. And so the driver is able to communicate back and try to correct any issues. As you can see where Saphir might be losing a lot of time there. He's dive bombing these corners and he's lost. You can see while he's gaining on entry into those corners, he's also losing on the exit because, of course, fast in, slow out. It's always slow in, fast out. You gotta be patient with these corners. And this is a great lesson here to anyone who's interested in sim racing. You know, you must not lose your cool. You must not get off target and get off track of what you're trying to do here in the simulation, because it will be shown as it's almost 2 seconds now that separates himself from Rob Pratap. Unfortunately, he's lost the pace here, Saphir Roshan, but he's on for another podium finish. And I mean, even though he's going to lose out on the second position, it is still something to be celebrating about, as we've got just under 3 minutes left now in this event, ladies and gentlemen. Dominic Charles has remained dominant throughout this one, the Trinidadian, and he's on for claiming yet another win here in our Caribbean Porsche Cup. This is the 6th round, and so we go racing for the 7th round at Hockenheimring, by the way. Just lost my train of thought there. So join us next weekend for the 7th round, the penultimate round of this championship, where we go racing on the streets at Hockenheimring. Following that, following weekend, we will go racing at the Nürburgring, and that is not the total Nordschleife. We're going to be racing on the GP circuit, or rather the GT circuit. And so you're going to look forward to that one as we close off yet another championship here at the Caribbean Sim Racing Organization. We've got one more series to bring to you before the year is out. That is our Caribbean Formula Cup. And we are going to be using a Formula One car for that one finally, after quite a number. My goodness, I can't even remember when we started the Formula Cup. But of course, we started with the Formula 4 chassis. Then we went on to the Formula 2 chassis. I think we did the Formula 3 chassis. Then we went on to the Formula 2. And I think we did the Formula 2 chassis 2 times. This would be the 6th year running for CSRO. We've missed an entire year and a half, though, of running championships. So I would say that the Caribbean Formula Cup will see its 4th iteration here in October, somewhere around October, November time. I do believe October is the scheduled time, though, that we will want to hold it, as we do not go racing in December. And I do want the Caribbean Formula Cup to have finally 8th rounds with it. And we're going to go to some of the most famous Formula One circuits around the globe here for that one. We've lost someone there in that one. I think we've lost Xavier now, which is quite interesting because Xavier was doing well there in 5th position. Now he's back on the server. So excuse the leaderboard there for that one. Dominic Charles, though, with 4 seconds left on the board. Actually, it's going to count down so that he does complete the race here. Dominic Charles with an astounding finish there in 4th position. Rob Pratap, Safir Roshandin did manage to claw back some time now to him. But unfortunately, the time has all ran out for the youngster. He's going to see 2nd position as Rob Pratap has managed to hold on now to that 3rd position. Sorry, 2nd position. It's going to show 3rd because Giovanni Melville finished, even though he was a lap down, he finished ahead of them. The leaderboard does not calculate that correctly. Now it does calculate correctly though, and Rob Pratap is showing his 2nd, and now Safir Roshandin with his 3rd. And they're going to get all set up there for that one. But Matthias Park is still on this racetrack here, making his way around, and Zayad Razak as well, making his way around. So we do want to keep the comms clear until they're finished. Oh my goodness. Matthias Park with another incident there. And it seems as though we have lost Xavier in that one. Seems though like that was a probable internet issue. But Zayad Razak will now come across the finish line. Just awaiting the last person to finish the race here. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Zayad Razak will cross the line there in 6th position. Safir Roshandin unfortunately has lost that 2nd position, but still has managed to be on the podium here this evening. Once again, Safir, congratulations to you on doing so. How was that one, and where exactly did you lose it there in that position for 2nd?
It was the first corner, and I think I hit the curb too hard, and I slid out, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, indeed. But talk us through that one. What was going through your mind as you saw yourself up in 2nd position there, as we lost Jaden Harrison? As a matter of fact, the race start, we saw you clamoring for positions there and getting into the podium position already. How was that for you?
I don't even have words to describe how like I'm shivering right now, honestly.
Well, I'll leave you to that then. Enjoy that 2nd, 3rd position finish in a row there, Safir Roshan, and you're doing quite well so far in these events. As we take you now to Raw Pratap. Raw, it seems as though you didn't have a response here for this youngster at times. What was he doing that you could not get? I mean, his pace was astounding, wasn't it? Raul? It's Raul.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, he had some serious pace at the start of the race. I was trying to catch him, but he was pulling some gaps on me. He was doing some outstanding lap times during the first half before the pit stop. And I tried to do an undercut, but I mean, the gap was too big. And I think he made a little mistake, and I tried to capitalize on that. But I knew he had the pace to catch me back up. But after that pit stop, his pace wasn't on point. It took a couple of laps before he started really catching me. And I was just trying not to make any mistakes. I see him in my mirror. He's right there in the rearview mirror. I'm just trying to calm myself down, hit my marks and just try to do what I'm trying to do. And I was just looking at the gaps going to 1.8, 1.4, back to 1.8. It's just getting bigger and smaller. And at the last minute there, I felt like he saved up some energy to do a hard push because he was really, really, really mean. And one more lap, I think he would have gone.
For sure.
One more lap, like Yeah.
I saw him. When he made that mistake, I think it messed with his brain a bit, and he was making a lot more mistakes after that. But yeah, then I saw him close the gap there and a bit and towards the end. But I gotta say, you're very lucky there to survive that one.
Ah, yep.
And also, you've broken the third place curse.
Finally, it took a fourth place to get second. You know, I'll leave it at that.
Indeed, indeed. All right, and now we take you to Dominic Charles. Dominic, unfortunately, that we've lost that fight there between yourself and Jaden Harrison, but quite happily so, you might be to know that you'll be holding on to some valuable points here in this event. We can't hear you there. Unfortunately, they might have had.
Hear me?
Yeah, have you there now?
Oh yeah, I was just saying it's a hollow win. Once I didn't get the fight with Jaden I was looking for, but I mean, I know he's been doing a lot, outside the sim as well. So he's probably just tired. He
Maybe.
probably just had a rough time for this one.
Did you see
But
what happened to him, by the way? Because we didn't.
no, I think he disconnected,
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken.
interesting.
But yeah, it is really just a hollow win. I hope I get to fight him for the next one.
Hopefully so, but you're doing pretty well in the points there. You might be much happier about that one.
Oh yeah, I think this as long as I don't completely die in the next the next couple events, I think that would solidify things for the championship there.
You know where we're headed next?
No, enlighten me, please.
Norris Ring. Do you have any idea about that track?
Oh no, I don't even know where to begin there.
Well,
I'll have to learn it on the day.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that right here. It's going to be an ecstatic race there at Norris Ring come next weekend. Thank you very much for that one, Dominic Charles. I'm going to step aside now to close off the stream. But thank you guys for coming out once again this evening. You can see how, as we go along with these championships, certain people just decide, hey, I'm not going to win anything here. We're going to stop racing. But I'll thank you guys for still coming along no matter what here and still racing with us. Hope to see you in the next one come this next weekend. And congratulations there to Dominic Charles. And once again to Roshendin as well. And finally, Robert Tapp breaking that third place curse. I'm going to step aside now. Ladies and gentlemen, there goes your sixth round here for the 2026 Caribbean Porsche Cup. I just want to say thank you to you for coming along and giving us your presence here this evening. Do remember to hit that like, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, it'll let you know, especially if you hit that notification bell whenever we go live with these events, and also whenever we upload videos. Like for instance, we might be doing some highlight reels between this championship and the next, just to keep you guys entertained here on social media, on our social platforms. Remember, you can get us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, where you're at right now, and we're on TikTok as well, but we're not. We probably might use TikTok to share our shorts, but of course YouTube as well, because they've got short video mechanisms as well that we can use here, and of course Facebook and Instagram with stories and reels. All right, thanks a lot once again. Next weekend we go to Norris Ring for round number 7, our penultimate round of the 2026 Caribbean Porsche Cup here at the Caribbean Sim Racing Organization, and hope to see you then. See you in the next one.
It's cold out here and I feel lonely. I know the time can move so slowly, and in the distance I hear voices. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick, and I'm lovesick. You got me lovesick, and now I feel alive, feel alive, feel alive, feel alive, and now I feel alive. times they try to change me, and every time it drives me crazy. And all the good times we had saved me. Are they real or are they in my head? I'm lovesick. You come in